coding than you have. So we just started by creating a string, initializing the string to the alphabet, and now we're using our method for the first time. So think about how this method of the string class works. It takes the actual name of the string, and then you put the dot after it, and that dot says now you're calling a method. So you're going to basically say called name.method, and then put parentheses and a semicolon anytime you want to call existing functionality from a class. And this applies to all classes across the board. String class, if you're making a string, doesn't matter if you're making a string or some other type, it still follows here where you use the name of it, and then you put whatever method it is that follows. Now, what does this method do? What do you think the method length does? Anybody have any idea? Throw their hand up as to what do you think the method length might do from a string? That one on the board. See it up there? What do you think it might do? Yeah. Give you the number of characters, and that's exactly what it does. Shouldn't alphabet be 26 characters? Okay. Well, that means if I was to print alphabet.length to the screen, it would be 26. It should be. Assuming I don't want to go up and actually count these characters. Assuming I typed it right and it's there, it should be 26. So one way to do it is just to system out print that alphabet.length. And it would tell you how long it is. Because it's calling the method named length off of the alphabet string. Run, boom, mine worked. Mine says 26. If yours says 25 or 27, you left something out or added something extra, it just printed that out. Do I have that stored anywhere for my future use right now? Think about it. Did I store that 26 anywhere? Yes or no, guys? No, good. You're shaking your head. This value has not been stored anywhere because all I've done is what? Put it into the string. If I want to store it so that I can access the 26 later on, I don't know if I'd ever want to, but if I want to store it, I could do something like this. Up here in this line where I use alphabet length, I could do something like this. And just on the next line, what do you get back from this method? Well, you get a number. Anytime I call that, anytime I run alphabet.length, it gives me 26, right? And that number is in the form of what? What type of variable? I'm following what he's saying. Integer right here. This is an I could store it as a double too, right? I actually could store it as text, but then it's not treated like a number, right? But if I cared to keep that 26 for future use, I could do this and give it some value, int x equals alphabet.length. Here is your first example of if I said, when I call this method, when I run the method, when I execute the method, I want to get back something of importance and use it for some future variable. This does it. Look what I just did. I took it, and whatever the value I get back gets put in x. See how this works? Now, x has to be of what type again, though? An integer or possibly a double. If I put it as a character, it would then put it as the 26th character in the ASCII chart, because I didn't put single quotes around it. So little things to think about, that if you put it as different things, it treats it differently. Right now I'm putting this value 26 into x, so I could on the next line just say system out print x. If for any reason I cared to use that number later on, I now have it stored as x. What's up, Alan? So in this example, there are the two 26s printing out. The 126 is from just calling it alphabet.length inside of the system out print line. But that way of doing it doesn't store any data. This one actually stores the result of the method. And it stores the result of the method in a new variable named x. Does anybody see how that might become useful? Why might I want to store some value as a variable? Do you remember the whole dynamic versus static concept I taught you? Static is like where you just print out a value. You know the value as a programmer. But do you have to know what x is right now at any point in time? For the program to actually churn, if it knows x, if it knows what x is actually stored in x, that's good enough. And then if you said, hey, how long is alphabet? Boom, it's stored as x. Maybe it would make more sense to call it number of character or number of letters or whatever, but that's why it's called an x. Length is one of the most basic ones, and later on you'll see why it's used a lot. Okay? I'd like us to go ahead to probably the most important one of the string class. Length is used the most, but it's a really quick and painless one for purposes we'll see later. But the most important one is called substring. Now, if I call alphabet.substring, it's going to run this method. But substring does something different than length, obviously, because it's a different method altogether. Blah, blah, blah. I can go over to the API and look up what substring does, and it should show me it. But I'm going to try and show you it right now. Substring chops up this. Think about what I had to do when I had to replace the chat room with all those words, and remove words and add asterisks in and stuff like that. Well, substring allows you to find words or subwords within words. It allows you to chop them up. So here's the first way to think about it. You've got a string, and right now we have the alphabet as a whole string. I want us to selectively grab the 10, 11, and 12 characters from the alphabet. Let's go up here, and if I was to statically do it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Where's the 10th? I think it might be J. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th character is J, right? If I want to grab the 10th, 11th, and 12th characters, okay, I don't have to say go and find the J. All I have to do is know where I'm going within the string. Okay? And here's what I want you to do. Underneath alphabet, I want you to hit return, and I want you to tab over underneath this, and I want you to start off right underneath the A to put a 0. You're going to have to comment it in so it doesn't think of it as code. So let me tab it back over here. I'm going to put right underneath the A a 0. Then I'm going to put 1, 2, not like that. I just hit tab. Sorry about that, guys. 1, 2, did it again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 10th one is, I just lost that. I, J, K, L. 10th one is J. However, look at the number that's underneath the J. Does everyone see that? Why is the number under the J 9? Because I did what is called indexing. Okay? When you index a string or text, you actually give the characters, each character, and assign the characters a number. But that first character is always a what? 0. So you have to realize that when you're using the string methods, some of them apply indexing, which means you're going to start with 0 and go up. So actually, I'm accessing the 10th character, J, but it's actually indexed what? 9. Do you guys see how that works? So you might want to put a little comment here that this is indexing, because we will be using those indexes. So that means I want to go and reference which characters? The 9th index, right? 10th character, 9th index. So I would go JKL. The easiest way to do this is to grab a substring and say, I want to grab the 9th index, which is the J. Everyone got that? But then I want to grab a couple more indices. Now, you would think, you would say go from 9 to 10, 11. Everyone got that? If I wanted those 3 letters, I'd say 9 to 11. not programmed exactly like that. It's programmed where it tells you the index of the starting point, and then it says what character number do you want to end on. They switch it on you, which is really weird. So it's like it starts with the index there, but that is index 11, but what character number is that? 12. Everyone follow it? Index 11 is character 12. So, and you'll see why this exists later. If I want to actually access those three letters, if I statically say go from 9 to 12, it should grab those three. However, right now, if I just call this method and I don't do anything with it, nothing's going to happen. I either need to store the method as a variable, store it somewhere, do something, or I could just system out print what it is. So I'm just going to use the system out print value right now to show you that if I use alphabet.substring 9 to 12, it's going to grab a portion of it. Now look closely. When I do this, I say system out print line and I put parentheses, right? But inside of it, I still need to call the method and have its own individual parentheses 9 to 12. And this one's weird because this one actually has stuff inside the parentheses that are defining it. It's saying, what are we doing with it? So I'm going to go ahead and print out what is 9 to 12, and it should basically just print out whatever's in the index 9 and go to more later, which is exactly what I just said. Not 9 through 12, but go from index 9 to character number 12. How do they switch it back? Well, I don't know if they program it this way. And guess what? The AP exam wants you to learn substring. This is one of the big methods that you're going to be using throughout the course of the year. So we have to better understand the two numbers I just talked about. One is the index number. The easiest one is the first index number. You then got to realize if you're selecting three characters, you don't just say 9, 10, 11. It's like you add 3 to it. You see how that works? You add 3 to the original index, and that tells you where to stop. Okay? I'm going to pause this for a second. Or stop it.